Today I will take the rest portion of topic number 2, that is energy audit. So today we will discuss the objective of energy audit we have already done, need for energy audit we have already done. Today we will discuss types of energy audit. Types of energy audit. Energy audit can be carried out in 3 steps. First step, that is known as phase 1. Second is phase 2. And third is phase 3. Phase 1, that is called pre-phase step. It is called pre-phase audit. Second is the audit, and third is post-phase audit. So there are certain criteria for this auditing process. So there are certain points are there in which I will discuss these points with you. So in energy audit, when we go for audit phase number 1, then it will includes walk-through audit. Walk-through audit means you have to visit the installation and where we have to find out the basic data required for audit. So here the audit is classified further as according to the book and the content of your syllabus. These points are discussed like this. This energy audit it is walk-through audit. Walk-through audit, first phase. Then second phase, mini audit. And third phase is maxi audit. Third phase is maxi audit. Then there is a maxi audit in which there is a detailed audit. In detailed audit, we have to go for, as I have told you, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So these are the classification directly we have done. In this walk-through audit, that is also called as prelim audit. So you have to write down the points which are coming under all these cases. So first we will write down the points for walk-through audit. The types of audit, as I have told you, the walk-through audit, mini audit and maxi audit. This is the main classification. After that, we take their detailed step. So first, what is the walk-through audit? This type of audit is least costly and identifying the primary scope or preliminary scope of energy audit. A visual inspection of the facility provided useful information and way to further detailed analysis. What is the meaning of this point? When you visit to any industry or any installation for energy audit, then you have to see the basic information required for energy auditing. This information is that what is type of installation, what type of energy they are using, then what are the outsources of the energies in the system, and what are the use point of the energy, and what are the different applications of the energy in the system. So these are the basic things that you can understand by just walk through audit. Means you have to walk into the system and see the physical observation of all the points where energy is supplying from where, and where the points where the energy is used. So this is the first fundamental of the walkthrough audit, in which you have to physically see all these positions. Second stage, that is mini audit. In this type of audit requires test and measurement and quantify energy use and losses and determine the economics for the charges. Now in the second step, the mini audit, you have to see that what are the energy billing process of that particular installation, what is type of tariff applied for that particular type of installation, and you have to see the all the detailed specifications of the machineries, all the detailed specification of different loads, and you have to list out all these loads, and according to that you have to find out their standard consumption by method of calculation of kilowatt hour or the unit consumption. So this type of audit basically applicable when there is a electricity use is there. And if you are having an installation in which other form of energy are used, then in that case you have to consider those particular type of energy and their parameters. Then when you list out all the loads and after that you calculated their standard consumption, then you have to quantify the energy used for the each load and then sum up all these. So you will get the standard data for that particular installation, which is according to a theoretical calculation. Then in third phase, that is the MAXI audit. In this type of audit, there is two steps, that is prelim audit and detail audit. So in this particular case, this type of audit is one step ahead than the mini audit. This is one step ahead the mini audit. In this particular case, now you have to measure on each energy consumption point different parameters. That is, what are the HP rating, horsepower rating of the drives or motors, what is the kilowatt rating of the different type of furnace and ovens using that, what is the light arrangement, lighting arrangement, what are the fixtures are there, and what are the process of manufacturing is there for which type of particular type machine is used in which, what is the standard consumption of the machine, and what is the actual consumption of machine according to their running. So running of the machine depends upon the number of shift running in that industries. Normally one shift is of 8 hours. So if the industry work in 3 shifts, then total 24 hours are there. So we have to work out the loading capacity of the machines and what are the time of loading of the machine, where the on period of the machine we have to calculate, and according to that what is the efficiency of the machine, how much output it is giving, and according to that we calculate what is the corresponding energy consumption is taking place. So in prelim audits there are certain points where you have to write. That first point is that find out the scope for saving. We have to see when we observe all the process of manufacturing and different type of loads, then we have to find out what are their scope for saving the energy. Means if you see that there are certain loss takes place in certain process, then how you can reduce those losses. So that can be done by the first step, that is find the scope for the energy saving. Then second point is establish energy consumption in the different department or process in the organization. In whatever organization you are going for energy audit, you have to decide the consumption points of different loads and what are the department there in which this process are going on for manufacturing, and for that what is the consumption in the different departments. The third point in that, identify areas where intermediate or immediate requirement of improvement. So you have to find out in the system in different department by visiting and by calculation of standard load and operating load. You have to find out that where is the emergency required for taking the step to conservation of energy. So you have to take in priority those areas in which immediate improvement is required to be done for conservation or saving of energy. Then next point is that establish some output input performance standard. Now output input is performance standard. It means that first we calculate the actual standard consumption according to the rating of the machine. What is the rating of the machine? Say for example, a motor of 5 HP is there. So you convert it HP into kilowatt, and if it is run for 6 hours, then you multiply this kilowatt by 6 hours and find out the efficiency, which is as per standard given. Normally it is 85% efficiency is there on the motors or drive, maximum design for 85% efficiency. So according to 85% efficiency, what is the consumption for 6 hours? You have to have a standard calculation according to data given, and then actual performance is observed by running those motors or a particular motor for 6 hours, and you just take out the measurement of power, how much power it consumes in 6 hours, and convert into kilowatt hour, that is the units. So you compare standard consumption unit according to theoretical data given on the motor specification with the actual data you obtain in the performance. So that will give you the exact figure that whether motor running economical or uneconomical. That will be compared. If the standard values are matching with the operating value, then it is a economical running, and if the standard value is more and your operating value is less, then machine is running under efficiency. So that will cause a loss of energy. Then next point is find out some of the area where detailed study is recommended and justified. There are certain areas in the industry in which detailed study is required, and this detailed study is in terms of actual process of production which is operating in the system, and in that process of production what is the rate of consumption of energy. According to that you have to find out the energy consumption by the process by taking a total time of operation of the machine, and according to operation of the machine what is the rate of energy consumption, find out according to that kilowatt hour rating. So this is the special area where you find that much stress or much attention is to be given on those type of area in which energy losses are more as compared to standard. So you have to list out all those points at which you can apply the corrections for meeting out all these losses to be reduced by the process of manufacturing during during the operation and the observation done by you for each machine. So they are the specified area or justify them these areas according to their performance or efficiency. If efficiency is less, performance is not good, consumption is maximum as compared to standard consumption, then you have to apply special measure for correction of those areas in those areas so that the consumption can be reduced or can be brought up to level of the standard consumption. So this will be the specified area that you have to find out in the process of manufacturing or in different type of sections in where the process of manufacturing is going on. Now next point will be the collect the data which is easily available. There are some data which are easily available, so you collect those data in which rating of each motors, rating of the transformer, rating of the oven, rating of the your ovens and these furnaces. Then other electricity load is there. Then find out their rating. Rating in terms of either horsepower or in the kilowatt. So and also the efficiency standard written on the specification plate of each machine. So these are the standards values which you collect from the machine to machine. You have to visit machine to machine and collect all the information. So this is the collection of the data available in the system. In this also you have to go for audit for the lighting scheme also. In the industry there are certain lighting arrangements are done in the yard as well as in the factory shed as well as in the workplace or the workshop. So you have to list out all the lighting loads or fixtures which are provided in the industry for that. Similarly, for water supply, if there are certain motors are used for water supply in the industries for the process, then you have also to collect the horsepower rating of all the pumps and motors which are utilized for the purpose of manufacturing process to provide water or any other liquid required for the process of manufacturing. Then what is the arrangement used for maintenance of the temperature of the system? For manufacturing normally in pharmaceutical industries, there is a very much important point is there that the temperature in the plant should be maintained constant at a particular value at which one particular medicine is to be manufactured. So in that case, whatever arrangement you are using for maintenance of the temperature, that should be also observed and find out its all the specification, whether for maintenance of this particular temperature, what type of energy efforts you require. So these are the collection of the data which are available with the industry. Then next point is their highlights deficiency in objective and procedure and planning. Now if you find in all these particular study up to the point of this previous point, whatever things you have collected the data from different points and different places, then you have to see that highlight you all the points those are there in which the objective is required to procedure and planning for minimizing the energy consumption in those areas. Means you have to find out the deficiency. Deficiency you can find out only when you start running the particular motor or particular machine for given period of time, and according to that time what is the consumption takes place in the machines in the process of manufacturing. So you will find the deficiencies there if according to the standard values of efficiency given in the specification. So you can find out the deficiency and where are the point that these deficiencies taking place. So these are all the points which are coming under preliminary audit. Now when we go for detailed audit, then there is a detailed audit is the total examination of an organization or part of it. It is includes checks on the difference, the effectiveness of the existing system, then provides the detailed energy project implementation plan. So in this detailed audit, now you have to find out or you have to confirm the total requirement of the system according to the requirement in the individual section of the plant in which you require the detailed study and what are the process you require to improve the efficiency of the system. So there are certain points given for this particular detailed energy audit process, in which first point you have to write down to ensure optimum installation or optimum installation and utilization of all resources including money, material, machine, man and methods. Yesterday in my first lecture of this topic, I have given you that audit is only not concentrate on energy, but it is also include manpower, materials and money requirement for the process. So this particular point is stress on that you should also worried about what is the material requirement for the machine, what is the manpower requirement for the machine, and according to this requirement you have to work out in totality what is the money requirement in the system, that is the finance requirement. Then second point, to highlight deficiency in procedures and planning. Now whatever planning we have done, it is a theoretical planning which is done on the paper. Then you have to compare this planning with the actual working of the system. So whatever type of study you made, planning with respect to procedure, then procedure is actually that procedure in which the implementation of planning can be specified. So planning is done according to a theoretical data available or theoretical assumptions, and when you go in procedure, then actual method of process of manufacturing, then it is to be observed practically that what are the factors which are affecting our planning. If your planning is perfect and according to that all of the activities are going on smoothly and consumption of energy is as per your calculation, then there is no problem. But if there is any difference in that, then you have to be very particular about for the calculations, and whatever types of losses you will get, you have to improve these losses for the purpose of actual calculation of energy loss, and for that whatever type of precautions or measurement of energy corrections or energy conservation to be taken, that you can recommend for the system. Then third is to suggest improvement in method of operation. This is I just now discussed that you have to, after observation of all this process, when you find there is some deficiency in the process of manufacturing in which energy consumption is more as compared to standard, then you have to apply or you have to suggest the improvement in the methods of operation. Means suppose there is in process loss is there of main material or energy, then you have to suggest for the correction of that. If there is a difference in some electrical parameter which are not matching the standards values, then you have to recommend for correction for this. and whatever type of additional equipment required for this type of corrections you have to recommend to the system. Then next point is the highlight weak links in internal control system and suggesting improvement. Now sometime what happen in many type of automatic system operation and the semi-automatic system operation, there are certain settings are there, and these settings are in terms of time setting, loading setting or charging setting. In these type of settings you have to see that all the control system they are working properly or not, and these controls are also apply for the controlling the various parameters in electrical system like power factor improvement or power factor values, the load current, the supply voltage. So these all standards are available as per the requirement or not. If it is properly controlled, then definitely the efficiency of the working system will improve better and energy losses can be controlled. So you have to design all such type of control system. Those are perfectly in operation according to time setting and the load setting and the process manufacturing time setting. So according to this you will find that there will be a perfect ideal situation can be maintained, so that the energy loss will be not exactly zero, but it will be minimized up to maximum extent. So this is the point for that detailed audit procedure. Then we have to go for the next point, to provide most accurate estimate of energy saving and cost. Now, as I told just now, that we cannot go for zero tolerance in the energy system. So you have to go for the most accurate estimation. Most accurate estimation means definitely it will be have a system in which maximum you can get up to 97%. Normally in every system, whether it is an ideal system, 3% is the variation it is observed. After applying all the resources for improvement, you will get that there is a probability of 3% losses are there in the ideal system also. So zero losses, it is only possible theoretically, but practically it is not possible. So after applying number of steps for improvement, you can go up to 97% improvement. You cannot go for 100%, or we cannot go because of environmental condition, working condition, working atmosphere, and the system parameters. These are all the points come in these particular things. Now in detailed energy audit is carried out in 3 phases. First phase, that is called pre-audit phase, second phase is called audit phase, and third phase is called post-audit phase. So there are 3 phases there. So one by one I will discuss the point in all the phases. So first is first phase, that is pre-audit phase. In pre-audit phase, the discuss with the site's senior management the aims of the energy audit. So you have to in pre-audit phase discuss the matter with the management peoples or the plant manager for the objective for which the audit is to be carried out. That is coming under first point as pre-audit phase. Then second point, discuss the economic guidelines or financial strength or SWOT analysis. So you have to find out by discussion with the plant manager that what are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunity and threats in the system. That is called SWOT analysis. So SWOT analysis is done in the pre-audit stage, and it is with the help of the head of the plant. There may be works manager or manager of the plant who is managing all the production system. So discussion takes place with this particular person for SWOT analysis, and he will give all the information required for your calculations. Then third is issue questionnaire which related to type of instruments or equipment in use, existing operation, procedures and controls method. Now you prepare a questionnaire in which all these points which I have read out, these should be included, and according to that, for each point you get the information from the plant head. So he will give all the information in this pre-audit phase. Then fourth point is there, collect details of all related data about major energy consumption. You have to go for in pre-audit all those data which are related with the extensive energy consumption area. In the industry there are certain area in which maximum energy consumption takes place, or the major energy consumption takes place. So you identify this particular area and collect the data for calculation of that. Then obtain the site drawing, means in the every plant there is a site drawing is there in which the installation of the all the motors or machineries are given on a civil engineering drawing, in which the location, position of the supply, distribution system, wiring diagram of the system, in which distribution system design is there, whether they are supplying overhead lines through overhead lines in the system, or whether they are applying by underground distribution system. So all type of drawing you must read out or get from the management or the persons who is the head of that particular section, and study these drawing in detail in the pre-audit phase. Then we come to next main aim of the visit for the pre-audit. So there are the simple point to finalize the energy audit team. How many persons you required for work in the energy audit, you have to identify the team. Okay, by first visit, you in pre-audit phase you decide the number of persons you require for energy audit work. Then second, to finalize the list of instrument which are required for auditing. तो ऑडिटिंग के लिए आपको क्या क्या इक्विपमेंट लगने वाले हैं और इंस्ट्रूमेंट लगने वाले हैं मेजरमेंट के लिए, you have to identify and list out those instruments. Then third is to identify main focus area of the energy saving during energy audit. अब main focus area, as I have told you, main focus area are those where energy consumption is taking place more than the standard values. These are the area where you have to give more focus. So more focus area are those where losses are more as compared to standard, and you have to identify those area in the pre-audit phase. Then to prepare a plan for audit. Now when you got all this information, then you prepare a plan that how you will execute the energy audit in the system and how you start the procedure. So this is a detailed planning is required, that is done on the paper also. And on the paper you do first planning, and according to that you will start working. Now in phase 2, that is the audit phase. In audit phase, the total time required for detailed audit depends upon the type of industry, site, details, studies to establish and investigation, energy and the material balances for specific plant department or items of the process requirement are carried out, where the readings or checks of the plant operation are taken at different time intervals to ensure that nothing is overloaded. This is again a simple point which I have just now told you, that main, material and energy. These are the three factors which are responsible for energy auditing in any system. So you have to go for, in audit phase, you go for study of each these point. For example, you take one machine. For example, in that machine, you have to first find out what is the loading capacity of that machine in terms of raw material, and what is the time of operation of this machine, whether it is run for 5 hours, 6 hours or 4 hours, whatever time is there. What is the main power requirement on that machine, that you work out. So in individual machine, if you go for all these three steps, material requirement, main power requirement and energy requirement, then you can easily find out the total performance of the one machine. And when you go for total plant, then for each machine you have to do the similar type of activity, and according to that you will calculate the energy consumption of each case, in which main, material and energy, all the three parameters you have calculated, and wherever it is required for correction, you can suggest the correction, because this is audit phase in which you have to come to conclusion that in this particular audit we have to provide this type of applications of conservation of energy process, so that the energy can be saved maximum and losses in the system can be reduced or minimized. Then in the detailed energy audit, there are carried out following steps. What are the steps to be carried out in energy audit number phase 2, that is the energy audit phase? First is study of primary data, process flow diagram, energy audit diagram. So there is a flow diagram is available in every industry for their process of manufacturing. So you go to individual sections, and from where you collect the energy flow diagram from the persons who is the in charge of that system, and the utility diagram also. So these are available with the persons or a head of that particular department. So according to that you will get the information in the audit phase. Then second is record some important data, conduct survey and monitor the process. Again the same points is repeating, that you have to observe the process of manufacturing on each machine, and according to that you have to collect the different data on that. Then third point is there, conduct a detailed experiment for selected machines, process or detailed experiments are done by various variation of loads for complete cycle. Now according to standard values given by the specifications as per the manufacturer of the particular machine, you have to carry out detailed experiment on that machine. For example, if a motor is there and if it is given that its efficiency at half load is this much, so you actually half load the machine and find out the efficiency. Then if it is given on 85% loading, this is the efficiency, then you work out actually load machine 85% and find out its efficiency. So in every duty cycle of the particular machine, you have to check by detailed experiment. Experiment means you have to actually perform the work. You have to perform the work on the system, and according to standards given, whether you are matching the data which you are obtained by the process of manufacturing experimentally which you are performing on the machine. So this is that point. Then collect information about energy and material balance and energy waste in the different process and stage. Again he is giving stress on the management of material. That material balance means whatever material is required for manufacturing, whether same material is utilizing in the process or not. Sometimes what happen, due to non-attention of the supervisor or due to non-attention of the labor who are working for manual transportation of material in the industry from one place to another place, there is some loss of material takes place in the process of manufacturing. So if this loss takes place, then definitely this will affect the total cost of the product per unit which you have worked out in the final stage, because there is a material loss. Material loss takes place where? During the process, during the transportation. So this should be strictly checked in the system so that you cannot go for any type of loss in the material during the process of manufacturing and its transportation from store to the work point. So this is the meaning of this point. Then identification and development of energy conservation opportunity. Now when you go for detailed audit in the second phase, that is the audit phase, you definitely come to number of points, or you will come to know number of points where you will observe that here there is a requirement of energy conservation. So wherever you find the possibility of saving energy during the process, then you have to write down in your note or in your diary that these are the points or these are the places where energy conservation is required, means where energy can be saved by applying certain application of the energy conservation equipments. For example, if a machine required to be run at 0.95 power factor, and if you actually work on the machine experimentally, then you will find out that this machine is working on 0.67 power factor. So there is a big gap between 0.95 and 0.67. So there is, you have to apply the capacitor bank to improve the power factor of that machine on that particular supply or the distribution point, so that this machine which is operating on 0.67 power factor, which is very poor as compared to 0.95 which is actually required. So you will find out this particular deficiency in power factor. So you apply the corrective measures to work this particular machine on 0.95 power factor, and according to that improvement you will find that machine is giving maximum efficiency and losses are automatically reduced, which are taking place due to low power factor. So this is the meaning of that. We have to find out the opportunities for corrections. So this is what one example I have given for that. Similarly, there are number of points are there in which the parameters can be changed. Suppose supply voltage is coming less, then also the efficiency of the motor will affect. Motor is overloaded as per the specification, then also its efficiency will be affected. So these are the very simple and small points are there for observation, but you have to do it. So the corrective action you can take, you can plan according to that. Then prepare audit report and present to top management in proper formats. Now for preparing total audit report, whatever you have done in the exercise of this pre-audit phase, audit phase, and now this is the post-audit phase. In post-audit phase, you have to summarize whatever type of observation you have made in the system, whatever type of drawback you have find in the system, and according to those drawbacks or the system losses, what are the recommendations you can give, what are the recommendation you can provide for the report. So you prepare a complete report in a format and submit it to the top management of the industry. Top management of the industry will definitely study that report which is recommended by you, and according to your recommendation as a energy auditor, they will apply the corrections in the system. So whatever corrections you have to apply, it is to be written in your final report, that is the post audit phase, in which you give a chart. In that chart you give the number of machines, their operating time, their efficiency, their output, their loading time, and there is a what is the percentage of loss of energy takes place, and what are the suggestions for improvement or the minimizing of these losses, what type of measures or equipments you can use for energy conservation. So this is a complete format is there. In that format you will recommend to the top management for improvement of the system efficiency. So this is the all three phases of audit, in which material balance and energy balance important point, in which with that we see that what is the material and energy balance. Sometimes they ask a simple short note on that, write down short note on material and energy balance. So in this you have to write material energy balances are very important in an industry. Material balances are fundamental to control of processing, and when any changes occurs in the process, the material balances need to be determined again. Now, according to types of manufacturing process, there are three types of manufacturing process are there. One is a mass production process, in which continuous duplication of the product takes place. Second is the batch production process, in which material product is prepared but it is in different batches. So according to specification they will change the batch. Suppose you have to manufacture electric wire. So first batch you require for 1 square mm PVC wire. So this is one batch. Second batch you take 1.5 square mm. Then third batch you take place for 2.5 square mm. So in different section here batches are prepared, and according to that material will change definitely. Input material will change. In mass production there will be only one specification, it is continuously duplicated. So this is one process, mass production. Second process is batch production, and third process is the job order production. In job order production it is depends on the order placed by the consumer, that we require a particular material or particular wire or cable of this particular size, which is only prepared or manufactured for that particular person. So in material balance, whenever there is a process of manufacturing change from mass production to batch production to job order production, so your material requirement will be different. So in each case you have to find out what is the material requirement, and according to that the energy requirement will also change, because process will be slightly differ from the one from other. So you have to check these two balances, that material balance and energy balance. So this is what the process in which you can find out this energy and material balance, when actually you perform the work on the machine by its specifications given for the manufacturing process. So material balance, as I have told you, we decide which type of process you are using for manufacturing, and for that which type of material balance is required, what type of material required, what is their quantity, what is their quality. According to that you manage for those material, and accordingly what is the process is to be changed for manufacturing. Their machine will be same, but some changes in the fixtures, dies and other type of tools required to be changed for the other process. So you have to check all these things which is coming under material and energy balance. So when you do it carefully, and if your performance is good for analysis of this material and energy balance, then you will get the maximum efficiency of the plant and your plant will run economical. So these are all the points in the audit section of the particular type of industry. Whether we have discussed mainly this is for industry which is based on electrical supply or electrical power consumption. There are certain industries in which other type of powers used, like steam energy if used, then you use boilers. If you are using oil fire furnace, so in rolling mills for melting of the iron you use oil fire furnace. So their approach is different for energy auditing. Mainly energy auditing, as I have told in my first lecture, that maximum industries, about 90%, they based on electrical power consumption. So our maximum stress we should give for the electrical side. Or other parameters whenever it is required, so you go for other parameters also. Whenever energy form change for utilization, then you have to go for other type of changes which are to be made. So today I have completed classification of energy audit, steps in energy audit, and whatever type of steps to be taken in pre-audit phase, audit phase, and final, that is post-audit phase. So in final post-audit phase, you are prepare the report of complete work you have done in the system, and according to that you submit this report to the top management of the industry. So they will be apply your application, they will apply for your corrections which you have recommended. So whether it is economical for the system or not, it is a judgment to be taken by the management. You have to only give your report in all respect, that this is the loss, this is the way of reducing loss, and these are the equipment required for the energy conservation. So all this information when you submit to the top management, then top management of the industry will study those reports, and on your recommendation, whatever type of corrections they will apply, they will do at their end. So your job is over up to submitting of the final report of the energy audit. Okay, this is for today. Next time we will discuss what type of instruments used for energy audit in the different field. So for today it is okay all.